Hi students, in the previous lecture, I explained to you the story of chapter 1, 3 questions, and also acquainted you with the characters. And in today's lecture, I shall be discussing with you both internal and textual questions with their answers. So let's begin with the internal questions first. Why did the king put on simple clothes before going to the hermit's cell? The king put on simple clothes before going to the hermit's cell because the hermit entertained only the common people or the general public. He did not meet rich or people of position. Then what is the moral of the story? Three questions. The moral of the story, three questions, is that the present time is the most crucial time. One should not wait for any opportune or auspicious moment in life. For every human being, the present moment is the right time for every action. And this is the only time when we have any power to do good with the person with whom we are dealing. Because for that purpose alone was man sent into this life. Next is there any auspicious time to start work? Do you think it's superstitious thing? No, there isn't any time which can be termed as auspicious to start any work. If we wait to start an important work looking for auspicious time, we might lose the opportunity. No time is more important than the present time. We should learn to live in the present moment. Just as in the lesson, if the king had not reacted to the present, he could have lost his life. Hence, what is to be done is now, immediately in the present. Okay, our next question is, why was the king initially frustrated with the hermit? Why didn't the hermit answer the questions immediately? The king was initially frustrated with the hermit because he was not answering to his questions. He kept digging the flower beds from morning to evening, but on asked about the answers to the questions, he didn't reply. Now, second part's answer. The hermit didn't reply immediately because he wanted the king to get his answers practically. Then this question I'll be discussing with the 11th one. Now, let's move on to the 6th. Why did the bearded man want to kill the king? The bearded man was king's enemy. The king had executed his brother and seized his property. This question can come in another form like, why did the bearded man want to take revenge from the king? Alright, now next is, briefly explain answers the king got to his three questions. Making these answers as your base, comment on the importance of the present moment in our life. The right time to begin an action is when we have the power. The right person is with whom we are, and the right occupation is to do good to him. So this is the answer of the first question, and second answer of the second question I have already discussed with you in the first part, in the first answer. Now next is, how did the king help the bearded man? The king helped the bearded man by saving his life. He bandaged and rebandaged his wounds using hermit's towel and his handkerchief till the blood ceased flowing. He also gave him fresh water to drink, and with the hermit's help he carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The next, why was the king obsessed with the three questions? He was obsessed with the three questions because answers of the three questions would help him to run his kingdom successfully, and he would never fail in anything he might undertake. Question number 10. What did the king proclaim in his kingdom? The king proclaimed throughout his kingdom that he would give a reward to anyone who would tell him what was the right time for every action and who were the most necessary people and how he might know what was the important thing to do. The next is, what answer did the learned men give to the king's first question? Learned men were all the persons who came with their different views to answer the king. They answered that to know the right time for every action, one must draw in advance a table of days, months, and years. Only then everything could be done at its proper time. Others declared that it was impossible to decide beforehand the right time for every action. For that one should have a council of wise men or must consult magicians. Next question. The king forgave the bearded man. What did he do to show his forgiveness? The king said that he would send his servants and his own physician to attend upon him and promised to restore his property back. And these were all the internal questions of the chapter. Now, textual questions. Question number 1. What were the three questions that occurred to the king? The three questions that occurred to the king were: what is the right time for every action? Who are the most necessary people to listen to and whom to avoid? What is the most important thing to do? These are all the three questions. Now next, why did the king go to the wise hermit? Why did he go there alone and dressed like a commoner? Many learned men came to the king with their views, but the king was satisfied with none of them and decided to go to the wise hermit to get the answers of his three questions. And B part of this question we have already discussed. The next is, who was the bearded man who came running from the woods? How had he got wounded? The bearded man was the king's enemy who came to take revenge on him for his brother's execution. The next answer of the second part is, he was hiding in the woods and waiting for the king to come so that he could kill him. But the king's bodyguards recognized and attacked him. Last but not the least, a number of questions can be framed from the chapter after thorough reading. This one question is, how did digging of beds for the hermit save the king's life? The king, after leaving his bodyguards in the woods, approached the hermit and found him digging the earth in front of his hut. The hermit looked frail and weak, so the king took the spade from him and started digging the beds to help him. If he had not pitied the hermit's weakness and not dug those beds for him and had gone his way, the bearded man would have attacked and killed him. So these are all the questions of the chapter 1, 3 questions.